Welcome back to English Classes Online. I am your friend, Benjamin. If you are preparing for the IELTS academic examination, one of the easiest places to gain valuable marks is writing task 1, but only if you understand exactly what the examiner wants. Unfortunately, many candidates lose marks because they copy the question, describe every single detail in the graph, forget to write an overview, or organize their ideas poorly. So they lose marks. The good news is that IELTS Writing Task 1 follows a clear structure. Writing a high-scoring report becomes much easier once you master that structure. In today's lesson, I will show you exactly how to write a perfect IELTS Task 1 report from beginning to end. And we are going to discuss the following. 1, what the examiner expects. 2, the 4-paragraph structure. 3, how to write each paragraph. 4, common mistakes to avoid. And 5, we will write a complete Band 8 or Band 9 sample report together using a real IELTS style question. So if your goal is to achieve a Band 7, Band 8, or even Band 9, keep watching. Let's dive right in. The golden rule: don't overcomplicate it. Many test takers lose marks by overthinking task 1. The examiner is not looking for analysts. They want clear, accurate description of what the data shows. That is what is required. So take note of the fact that you are not a data analyst. Examiners want clear communication, not complex research or interpretation. Describe what you see, nothing more. Here is the goal. Describe exactly what the data shows. Report facts, trends, and comparisons, not opinions or theories. Time management: spend 20 minutes maximum on task 1. Then move on to task 2. Staying on schedule is part of your strategy, because if you spend more time than is allotted to a particular section of the exam, then your likelihood of completing other sections will be remote. Now, step 1, the bulletproof structure. Every high-scoring IELTS Task 1 report follows the same 4-part structure. Mastering this template means you can walk into any exam confident and prepared. So pay attention here. The 4-part structure. Number 1, introduction. That's the first part. Paraphrase the prompt clearly in your own words. Identify what the chart shows, where and when. That is the introductory part. Number 2, the overview. Identify the most significant trends or shifts. This is your big picture paragraph. No specific numbers here. Number 3, body paragraph 1. Group and detail key data points. Focus on the most prominent features with accurate figures. This is where you specify the important details. Body paragraph 2, Compare and contrast remaining significant details. Use linking words to create logical flow. This brings us to crafting a Band 9 introduction. Your introduction is your first impression. A strong Band 9 introduction paraphrases the rubric in your own words, demonstrating vocabulary range and grammatical control from the very first sentence. The goal: restate the prompt using synonyms and different sentence structures. Never copy the rubric word for word. Here are the common pitfalls. Avoid repeating the prompt verbatim. Watch for grammar errors. Even small mistakes affect your score. And here is the pro tip. Focus on the what, where, and when provided in the chart description to build a complete opening sentence. The secret weapon: writing the overview. The overview is the single most important paragraph in your Task 1 report. Examiners look for it first. A missing or weak overview can cap your score, no matter how good the rest of your writing is. This is why it matters. This paragraph is essential for a high score. It demonstrates your ability to summarize and identify key information, a core marking criterion. Now, the strategy: look for the big picture, the general direction, the main change, or the most striking contrast. What stands out immediately when you glance at the data? That's a question you should be asking. What stands out immediately when you glance at the data? What do you find standing out or appearing prominently? Now, what to avoid? Do not list specific numbers in the overview. Save precise figures for the body paragraphs. The overview is about trends, not data points. And this brings us to body paragraphs, organizing your data. With your overview in place, your body paragraphs bring the data to life. The key is logical grouping, organizing information so that the examiner can follow your description effortlessly. Grouping: combine similar categories to create logical flow. For example, group rising trends together, then contrast with declining ones. Sequencing: use linking words to transition between observations. Linking words like while, in contrast, similarly, however, whereas. Precision: select only the most important features. Ignore minor fluctuations. Focus on what is significant and memorable. Vocabulary for success, trends, and movements. A varied vocabulary is one of the fastest ways to boost your lexical resource score. Use these word groups to describe data movements with precision and range. Upward movement: increase, rise, climb, soar, rocket, surge, grow. These are words you can use to describe upward movement. And for downward movement, you can use words like decrease, drop, fall, decline, plummet, shrink, dip. To describe stable or a situation of no change, you can use plateau, remain constant, stay unchanged, level off, stabilize. To describe fluctuations, you can use words like oscillate, fluctuate, erratic, highs and lows, volatile. Your choice of words is very important. And here is the pro tip. Combine trend verbs with adverbs for even more variety. For example, sales rose sharply. Prices fell gradually. Figures remain relatively stable. And this brings us to sample analysis. In this case, we are using coffee shop trends 2000 to 2020. Let's apply the blueprint to a real example. Imagine a line graph showing sales for 6 categories: coffee, tea, sandwiches, pastries, juice, and smoothies over a 20-year period. So here you have intro 2000 to 2020, the main trend, and then top versus bottom. Following these 3 steps, ensure that your report is structured, focused, and covers all the marking criteria. Start broad with the overview, then drill into specific comparisons in your body paragraphs. Avoiding the top mistakes. Even well-prepared candidates lose marks on avoidable errors. So knowing these common pitfalls gives you a critical edge on exam day. No personal opinions. Never analyze why trends happen or give your own views. Task 1 is purely descriptive. It's not an opinion essay. No informal language. Avoid contractions like don't, can't, and so on. Avoid casual phrasing. Write in a formal academic register throughout. Don't overinterpret. That's another pitfall. Do not search for hidden meanings or speculate about causes. Stick to what the data explicitly shows. Meet the word count. Your report must reach the 150-word minimum. Writing too little is one of the most common reasons candidates lose marks. Okay, so, and here is your path to perfection. You now have the complete blueprint. The final stop is consistent practice, applying this structure until it becomes second nature on exam day. Practice with a template. Use the same 4-part structure for every task type, whether they are bar charts, line graphs, pie charts, tables, or diagrams. Consistency builds confidence. Reserve 2 minutes to edit. Always leave time at the end to check for spelling, grammar, and word count. Cross-checking your work ensures that you correct your mistakes. Small corrections can make a big difference to your final score. Simplify and score high. You have the blueprint. Now simplify your approach, trust the structure, and watch your score climb. Clear communication always wins. Remember, the examiner rewards clarity, structure, and accuracy. This is where we draw a line on today's video. I hope you gained a lot from today's video. I thank you for being part of today's episode, and I will see you in the next one.